Boston Celtics completely collapse in the third and fourth quarters. They got away from things that worked. They got a little too overconfident. We're going to talk about it, plus a positive spin right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Yup. Beantown, be ever ready. Recognize the city of champs. Back to back, if I say it, it's stamped. Locked on number 19, the best one, the next one. Juice loose in your pool now for the next run. It's the C's, who else could it be? What they gon' say now? Screaming like JT, Karalis, recap the madness. Every game, every practice. Best daily pod, no cap like Brad Beckett. Clutch like Drew to KP, tap in daily. Prime time, dapping D White on the sideline. Raining Jace, how it started, raising banners, how we finished. Locked on Celtics pod, home of the winners.
Hey there, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast, right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where it is your team every day, and I got you covered Monday through Friday. When the Celtics play on weekends, I got you covered on that day too. So make sure you're subscribed wherever you get your podcasts. We're on every podcasting app. It's free. It's available everywhere. It's on YouTube. Get into the comment section there. Hello, Knicks fans in the comment section of the YouTube page. I know there are a lot of you here. I can already see it. I haven't even published the show yet. I can already see it. I can feel your presence. Hello, welcome, bing bong, and all that stuff. So I'm John Karalis, by the way. I've been covering the Celtics for about 20 years, doing it now as a beat writer for Boston Sports Journal. Today's show brought to you by FanDuel. Make your first $5 bet. If it wins, you get $200 in bonus bets. So head on over to FanDuel.com to do that. All right, Boston Celtics lose to the New York Knicks in Game 1. A weird start to the second round of the NBA playoffs. Boston Celtics lose Game 1. Cleveland Cavaliers lose Game 1 at home. Oklahoma City Thunder lose Game 1 at home. All the 60-win teams in the NBA, the top 3 teams in the league, the cream of the crop, have all lost home games to start the playoffs. So weirdness abounds here. But we're here to talk about the Celtics and why they lost 2-3 in overtime to the New York Knicks, 108-85. We'll talk about reasons to worry. I'll get to the positive spin in a little bit. But the story of this game is the offense just completely collapsed in this, starting with, 5 and change to go, where the Celtics were up 75-55, and then proceeded to shoot almost nothing but threes, just three-pointers galore. In the third quarter, they took 20 shots. 19 of them were three-pointers. I'm talking to some of the people around here who are watching the game, and no one has seen anything like this. No one has seen this kind of shot selection, this decision-making. It was like, after a while, you're like, oh, that was another three. This is another three. And it felt like at first, okay, these are just the shots that they're getting. This is how it is. And then it just looked like, okay, they're not even trying to drive. Celtics got to the rim or attacked or got to the free throw line a ton in the first half, a ton, and lived by getting to the line. They put up, 61 points at halftime. They led 61-50 to 45 at halftime. They had a fairly reasonable split between three-pointers and two-pointers at halftime. And then they got up to 75-55, and it all just went away. Their offensive rating as they built that lead was 121. So up until 75-55 in the third quarter, the Celtics were on a pace to score 121 points per 100 possessions. After that, they're on a pace to score 77 points per 100 possessions. So 121 is elite. That is OKC. That is historically good. 77 is what would happen if you put a college team in the NBA and force them to play. And that's about what they would give. The Celtics, once they got up 20, went completely cold. They got away from everything. And what I think happened was they started trying to throw the knockout punch. I asked Jaylen Brown about it after the game, and he said, he seemed kind of confused by everything. He was like, we're going to have to go back and watch it and all of that stuff. But he said, yeah, that there's might be some level of truth to that. What I think happened is the Celtics were so confident that they could start going for the knockout punch that they didn't worry about the Knicks hitting them back. This was a team that was 4-0 against the Knicks during the regular season. They felt like they could take those 3-point shots. The Knicks hadn't demonstrated it throughout the regular season, throughout this game, the Knicks hadn't demonstrated any threat of putting enough together to do what they did. But it's the playoffs, and you have to put teams away. You have to put them away. You have to step on their neck. You have to do all that, whatever you want to call it, you have to do it. But the Celtics look like a fighter that just said, "Oh, okay, you know what? We're gonna do that big looping thing and try to, mess with you a little bit and try to showboat a little bit. And we're gonna we could hit these threes. We can go for the knockout punch." And you're throwing all these haymakers to the head, leaving your body exposed, right? This is the whole boxing analogy. And the Knicks just kept hitting the body blows. And fine, we'll just keep hitting you. And the Celtics, no, this is fine. This is fine. Okay, that's starting to hurt a little bit, but then, no, this is okay. Okay, we're getting a little out of breath here. And they started to fall apart. Everything started to crumble a little bit. And they still kept trying to throw the haymakers, very Rocky movie-esque, where it's just nothing but big, wild swings to the head, and Rocky's just pounding those ribs. And the Knicks just kept taking those little shots here and there and walking that lead down. And the Celtics just kept going for the head, kept trying. And then by the time they were like, okay, you know what? We're going to get back to doing what we do, it was a little too late. So this just felt like an overconfident Celtics team that was going for that kill shot, and they never really felt the threat of the Knicks coming back, and they never really took it seriously. The Knicks, meanwhile, they are, if nothing else, a potent offense, and the Celtics were doing the Knicks defense a favor by taking these shots. They were taking and missing. They shot 25%. They shot 15 of 60 from three. It's an NBA record. 45 misses from three. They missed more shots from three than the Knicks took. The Knicks were 17 of 37, and the Celtics were 15 of 60. That is nuts. But the Celtics did the Knicks defense a favor by taking all of these shots because you didn't have to defend anything. You didn't have to defend the rim. You had guys in foul trouble, and that didn't end up costing them. Karl Anthony Towns was the only one, but you had Josh Hart in foul trouble. He finished with 4. You had Brunson in foul trouble. He finished with 4. You had a chance to get these guys on the bench, have them sitting there to put the Knicks in a real bad spot, and the Celtics just let up and did not attack that. So this barrage of three-pointers let the Knicks basically become a good defensive team. They were getting a ton of stops without having to do much. But then their offense started to take off. The Celtics defense left the wrong guys open. OG Anunoby scored 29 points. That's a killer. You cannot let OG Anunoby drop 29 on you. He had 20 in the second half. That is a recipe for disaster. You cannot let those guys. You got 29 from Jaylen Brunson. You factor that in. Brunson, 29 points, 9 of 23 shooting. That's fine. That's low efficiency. Brunson's going to get his. You limited Karl Anthony Towns partly because of foul trouble, 14 points, but he had these wild, goofy drives that were going nowhere. That was fine. Celtics did that. You did your job on him. Then you give up 29 to OG Anunoby. You kind of just lose track of him. Joe Mazzulla after the game said, we left the wrong guys open. Personnel stuff, we did not pay attention to that. This whole thing was about attention to detail. The Celtics did not have it. Did not have the attention to detail. More on that, plus a positive spin. Is there a positive spin out of this? Yeah, trust me. I'll give you one when I come back. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. NBA playoffs are here. Now they're in full swing, second round, and every night delivers with highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments, whether it's a game-winning shot like in the Denver game where they got Aaron Gordon just, I mean, wow. Or a breakout player. There's never been a better time to get on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. So which players are showing up in the biggest moments? You could look at OG Anunoby here. That would have been, if you had the wherewithal, maybe a Knicks fan, put the OG Anunoby in a same-game parlay, then you could really, his points with Karl Anthony Towns' rebounds, who, he still had 13 rebounds on top of everything that I've been saying. You can combine that mid-game, and who knows? You could cash in pretty big on a same-game parlay. If you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head over there to FanDuel.com, and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you get $200 in bonus bets. So this is a great time to check it out. Make sure you're using the tools that are available. When you sign up, when you log in, it'll ask you to set your limits, set your budget. Make sure you're gambling responsibly. You protect yourself from yourself. We all need that sometimes. Make sure you set the limits. You can bet only what you can afford to lose. And have some fun. Maybe you get $200 in bonus bets. Make that first $5 bet a good one. Make every moment more. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Go check out Locked On NBA Game Night. Locked On NBA Game Night is on that Locked On NBA feed. It's 7 nights a week. So check it out. They're covering all the playoff games. So they had 2 good ones. Not the best result here in Boston, but and I'm there on Friday nights with Jake Madison. Friday during the day. On Thursday nights with Jake Madison. So we're going to have a lot of fun covering the league. Check it out there. Before I get to the positive spin, let's just kind of wrap up some of this negative stuff here. Kristaps Porzingis, another big story. He left the game in the second quarter with an illness. So he comes in, plays 13 minutes, does not look good. 0 of 4. He had 4 offensive rebounds. I think a bunch of those were his own, trying to put back his own misses. He just missed point blank. He didn't look good. No doubt about it. He just didn't look good. And then in the second quarter, he kind of disappeared. Like, what happened with him? I was looking around. Like, I just didn't even realize he wasn't even on the bench anymore. And so, I'd missed him going in the back. So he goes into the back. He disappears for the rest of the first half. I go in the back at halftime. I see him walking out. He looks serious, right? He's walking out. He's serious. He's not like the happy-go-lucky Porzingis, but I'm like, oh, here he comes. Maybe he's just focused. He comes out for warm-ups. Then I come back. I sit down, and I'm like, oh, okay. Al Horford's starting the second half for him. Where's Porzingis? Did I miss him going in the back again? Yeah, he went in the back again, and the Celtics said he was questionable to return with an illness. So whatever this illness is, I don't know if it's part of the same thing that was bothering him before, a new thing, whatever it is. It clearly impacted the Celtics here. So they got nothing, literally nothing out of Porzingis outside of 4 offensive rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 0 points from him. The offense was the problem. The defense actually wasn't necessarily the problem. The Celtics gave up 25-20. They had the 1 30-point quarter in the third that they gave up, and 25. They gave up, they gave up 100 in regulation. That is very easily enough for the Celtics to win. Defensively, even with the mistakes that they made on OG Anunoby, when you hold the Knicks to 100 points at the end of regulation, you should win that game. You should win that game. Here's where my positive spin comes in. The Celtics did everything they can after they go up 75-55. They did everything they could to lose this game. They shot 25% from three. They even forget defensively. Even if I say they should have picked up Anunoby, let's say everything defensively goes the same way. They still needed to miss 45 three-pointers. I just can't say it without laughing. They still needed to miss 45 three-pointers for the Knicks to be tied at the end of regulation. You're just going to hit one more of those, and you're good, right? Just hit one more shot, any shot, and you're good. You win. With everything that happened, just one more shot. Or the Celtics were, 22 of 26 from the free throw line, which is 85%, which is fine. But one more free throw, you win this game. So the Knicks steal this game. They should feel good about it. You did it. You got game one. You got home court. All of the talk, all of my talk, all your Knicks fans who are in here listening to me on the crossover episode, thinking I'm a jerk, thinking I'm arrogant. You come in, you be like, ha, whoops, whoopsie, all of that stuff. That's fine. That's cool, right? That's the beauty of sports. I say what I got to say. I still think the Celtics are going to come back and win this series a little easily. Maybe it's not 5 games. Maybe it's 6 now. Or maybe it's still 5. Maybe the Celtics win 4 games in a row. It's still possible. It's still out there. And looking at the way the Celtics played in this game, if they just play normally after 75-55, if they stop with the 3-point mess, if they stop with the haymaker throwing and trying to put the Knicks away, if they just come back and just keep on playing normal basketball, they'll be fine. So I still look at the way this game went and think, boy, the Celtics really botched this on their way to losing this game. So positive spin, yeah, I think this is the positive spin. And you just look around, like I said at the top of the show. Cleveland lost in game 1. OKC lost. They gave up a 19-6 run. The Oklahoma City Thunder gave up a 19-6 run at home to Denver to lose the game on a buzzer beater. So that's, makes this loss feel like not so bad. So the Celtics could obviously get better shooting, right? Jaylen Brown, 1 of 10 from 3. Jayson Tatum, 4 of 15. Derek White, 5 of 16. You get a decent night from Drew Holiday. You get a decent night from Peyton Pritchard. Al Horford was okay. I don't come out of this thinking, oh my God. I come out of this thinking like, I'm actually laughing. Remember that old joke? I'm laughing. And this is actually good. I'll come back. We'll wrap up the show. Continuing this, no reason to worry. No reason to worry about this. We'll look at it from the Knicks side and see, is there anything to carry over into this game 2? Thanks for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Go make Locked On Knicks your second listen. Always make sure you're listening to what the other side has got to say. So check out Locked On Knicks. Get their take on things. Again, I've had some conversations around here, and really the thought process is that no one sits there and thinks that the Knicks have figured anything out. I still have to go back and kind of get another look at this game. This is definitely a rewatch. Get a closer look. I think the Knicks did a decent job of trying to limit Tatum's drives, limit Jaylen's drives, kind of let them almost dare them to take threes. I don't think the Knicks intended to dare them to take threes. I think the Celtics kind of took it that way. I do wonder if the Celtics are still kind of getting used to the speed of this series after 5 games against Orlando. I just feel like they were quick to settle for these 3-pointers. There's no doubt that they settled. Everybody agrees that they settled. They say they settled. Everybody understands that they did. I wonder if their series against Orlando, they felt like they couldn't force anything, right? They couldn't force the issue. They couldn't impose their will against Orlando. They can impose their will against the Knicks, and I just don't think they pushed hard enough in the second half to do that. Now, it's important when I talk about, again, not worrying, to understand that once the Celtics decided to, I think, I'm going to say take the game seriously. I don't think that's the right way to put it, but it's the only way I can truly characterize it. And people know what I talk about. 3.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, the Knicks are up 6. And all of a sudden, the Celtics turn things around. With 3.5 minutes to go, the Celtics, from that point on, through the overtime, they won that stretch, that last 8.5 minutes, they won it by 3. And they won that by 3 by having an even split, 7 2-pointers and 7 3-pointers. And I'm not doing we won this little stretch by 3, so that's okay. What I'm saying is the Celtics forced the issue with the 3-pointers, and once they got back to just even distribution, they were good. How many times have I said the fourth quarter is about making buckets? When you've got a lead in the fourth quarter, all you got to do is make buckets. All you have to do is hit shots so the other team can't make their run. The Celtics did not take the shots that were in front of them. All season long, the story for the Celtics has been if they try to force any particular shot, they get into trouble. All of us are going to be hearing about the 3-pointers now. And I'm still sticking to my guns. The Orlando series showed the Celtics are not just a 3-point shooting team. And I'm saying that even after they shot 60. You know, they didn't get the 63-pointers attempted until the fourth quarter of game 2 against Orlando. But you look back, and this game sticks out to me from the regular season. It's the OKC game in OKC where the Celtics had the big lead at halftime. They looked awesome. And then second half, end of the first half, they gave up a run. And then in the second half, things started to fall apart. Why? Because the Celtics kept forcing shots at the rim. They just kept trying to attack, and it backfired. They didn't drive and kick. They just kept trying to drive and score. They didn't take what was available. They didn't generate the right shots. They didn't make the right reads to get them the right shots. Same thing happened in this game, just different kind of shot. They didn't drive to generate their 3-pointers. They just settled for the 3-pointers. When you just want to take a specific shot, when the Celtics just take one specific shot, whatever it is, they get into trouble. When they get away from attacking the defense, reading what the defense is doing, and then attacking the weak spots off of that, they get into trouble. In this game, driving and getting fouled, or driving and kicking, secondary attack. They didn't do that stuff. They didn't run off the misses in the second half like they did in the first half. They just tried to take a bunch of 3-pointers. And when they force that, they get into trouble. So I feel like if they just do what got them there, If they just attack Karl-Anthony Towns, and if the Knicks defense sucks in to help, kick it out. Just kick it. And if they recover well, then swing it or attack that. If they come back out, attack that from the baseline. There's multiple options here. The Knicks defense is not good. It's not good. It's not good enough to stop the Celtics. The Celtics are good enough to stop the Celtics. They got away from what was working early, and it played into the Knicks' hands. This is a very simple fix. I think the Knicks, I don't think the Knicks played well. I don't think the Celtics didn't play well. They played well in the first half. They didn't play well in the second half. And it just, there's nowhere else to go with it. They just play normal basketball, play Celtics basketball. And this is a win. So I expect a lot more out of Boston in game 2. A lot more. I don't expect a lot more from the Knicks. Maybe we can expect a little bit more from Karl-Anthony Towns. Let me tell you something, man. Karl-Anthony Towns, if I'm a Knicks fan, I look at Cat and I'm just like, this is what we're going to rely on? Really? Because the more he shot it, the more he drove, the better things went for the Celtics. So keep doing what you're doing, Karl-Anthony Towns. We'll take it. Game 2 should be a much better, cleaner version. This is I'm not going to say, hey, this is good. They got this out of the way. It was always going to be a little outrageous for the Celtics to win. Like, I never thought they were going to sweep. So I said Celtics in 5. Winning 8 games in a row against a team like the Knicks, who's good enough and capable, would have always been an outrageous thing to ask. But look, the Celtics lost this one. There's no getting around it. The Knicks have some confidence. We'll see what they do with it in game 2. Celtics, if they just come out and play their game in game 2, we'll see what's going on with Porzingis. Drew Holiday looked good. Holiday seemed to come away from the hamstring fine. So that's good news. I expect a lot more out of them in game 2. So I'll be here. I'll be right here in this spot watching them and hopefully talking about a win in game 2 and then going to New York and getting home court back. So stick with me throughout the course of the series, the rest of the playoff run, the offseason. I'm here 5 days a week. I'm here all year long. So make sure you're subscribed. If you're on the YouTube page, if you're not on the YouTube page, get in the comment section. Get onto the YouTube page, please, because there's going to be a lot of Knicks fans talking their junk. They're going to be talking their smack. And so I'm hoping that you come in here and help out, join in the conversation. Either way, I would love it if you shared the podcast and told everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.